I'm Scott Simi, and this edition of our Byte micro podcast is called Ask an Engineer. And joining me today is InDro's Director of Engineering, Arron Griffiths. Welcome, Arron.
Hi, Scott. Thank you.
First question, we'll jump right in. Why do you love engineering?
Oh, because I like making things real. That's the simplest way of saying it. I like taking something like an idea and then making it happen.
Nice. Now, InDro and many other companies build autonomous products. So a really basic question for you. Why is autonomy so hard?
Basic question, but very complicated in tone. So, autonomy is getting a machine to understand the reality of life. And so we end up making it very simple in order to achieve the bare minimum. But we're constantly short of what the actual reality is and what the robot really needs to understand. And we're constantly trying to increase how complex our systems are. And that complexity takes a monumental amount of effort. Even with the age of AI now, it still takes hundreds of engineers to get an autonomous car to go around the streets of San Francisco. And it's just, we haven't cracked the code, I think, on getting machines to understand our reality.
Now, obviously, I'm not an engineer, which is why I'm speaking with you. But from my perspective, if we were to strip an autonomous robot down, we'd have a mobility platform, sensors, compute, and software. So if autonomy were merely about buying the right sensors, then anybody could do it. So I'm making an assumption here that the autonomy stack, the software, is really the secret sauce to tying this all together. Would that be a fair guess, or am I way out of line?
No, it's probably 30-70, right? Like, you really have to have a good foundation of sensors. And so I would say that was the 30%. And then 70% is the software, right? And how you take the sensor data and how you fuse it together. And then what do you do with it? How do you map? What does that map mean to a machine? And then once you've figured that out, how do you find yourself in that map, which is called localization? And then how do you plan to move in that map? And so it's like a stack of, it's like a burger, right? You're stacking it all up and it gets really complicated.
What would you say is your favorite autonomy project that you've worked on at InDro?
I would say that the outdoor navigation stuff that we do with Sentinel has been my favorite so far. It's a real-world deployed outdoor autonomous system, which is not that common. You see a lot of indoor stuff, like with vacuum cleaners and warehouse logistic robots and even those delivery bots inside restaurants now. But outdoor is still the untamed reality of the world that we haven't really pushed robots into, and we don't have that many outside. So that's one I'm quite excited about.
On a personal note, I understand that your wife holds a PhD in physics, so I'm thinking, okay, engineer and a PhD in physics are sitting down at the dinner table. What do you guys talk about? Do you talk about shop? Do you talk about some of the realms in which you both work?
Yes, we do talk about fun things as well, but sometimes we talk about how we would make a machine think like a human. How would you present the world to a machine in a way that it would grasp or learn to interpret it the way we interpret it? We have those conversations. But she's a big astrophysics fan, and so she blows my mind talking about the universe and black holes and stars and stuff like that.
Awesome. Listen, Arron, thanks so much for your time. And we'll continue with this series in another day or so with a look at AI. Arron Griffiths, Director of Engineering with InDro Robotics, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.